and welcome back, or welcome to, if you are new here, to my ASMR channel. Now, since obviously my, uploading days are not, an uploading day isn't on Thursdays, it's usually Sunday, and of course, Wednesdays, of course, that you guys are seeing this. I thought I would go ahead and do a things I am thankful for video. I was actually going to do a little bonus video, I guess you could call it, last week on Thanksgiving. But by the time I had thought about it, it was a little bit too late. So I didn't really get to do it. So here we are. I did do a little short one on my TikTok. If you guys would like to go watch that. But as always, I really hope you guys enjoy this. Definitely hit that thumbs up if you do. And smash that subscribe button. Also, leave me down in the comments some things you guys are thankful for. So, as I was, trying to put these things together, I think for me, it's kind of pretty much the basic stuff, like what I feel like most people would probably say. Well, friends, family, etc., stuff like that, So, that's definitely it for me, Friends, obviously, I have gotten rid of a lot of fake friends in my life, Unfortunately, that's just how life goes. It is what it is, I guess. But I am really happy that the real ones have stayed. They have definitely been with me through it all. Between getting me out of the house after a breakup, they even visited me one time in the hospital when I was there. Just stuff like that, and I literally don't know what I would do without them. I have literally called one of my close friends one time, literally crying with, stuff that was going on with my sister. I'm not gonna really get into detail with that. But she got me through that, and like I said, just everything else I can think of, and I cannot thank them enough. And then, of course, family. We might be so many hours away now, but thankfully, because of social media now, Facebook and stuff like that, obviously texting now, video messaging, again, etc., we can thankfully still keep track of each other and what we are doing. Obviously when we can't be there, it definitely sucks being further away from family, but I am still glad that we have some way to keep track of each other, talk if we want. I have a cousin who, honestly, I cannot appreciate him enough. I forget how long ago now, but I was going through a breakup. I forget how long after that breakup, when said ex would not leave me alone, literally would not stop calling. I'm I'm sure he probably had that one ex like that. Hell, maybe even a former friend or something. I don't know. But I had mentioned that one time, and he had literally commented, like, pretty much saying, like, the next time he does this, give him my number. And I'm like, you know what? I appreciate you. It wasn't necessary. Thankfully he did stop because, blocked him. I literally blocked him on, like, everything that I found him on. I'm not sorry, obviously. But, like I appreciate him. But yeah, then moving on, obviously, the whole diabetic thing in my username is not just something that I made up, which I probably didn't have to really explain that because I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory. I would hope someone wouldn't just put it in their name if they weren't. But, I have been diabetic for 23 years, which is honestly quite crazy because it does not feel that way. Some days it feels longer, or sometimes shorter. But majority of the time it definitely does feel longer, But I would have to definitely throw my health in there. I didn't honestly start having, like, issues until 2009. My doctor that I had at the time had put me on a pump. I forget how long into wearing it, but it was giving me issues. It wasn't giving me insulin properly like it should. So it was putting me in the hospital like every other month. Thankfully, we stopped that. I went back to the insulin pens. But, even going through all of these issues, what definitely feels like a lot, I am thankfully still here. I was gonna have a knock on wood moment. I don't know if like the last time I was in the hospital was last year, the day after Thanksgiving of all times, when we weren't even home. We were visiting my sister. So I have been not back in a year, thank God. Fingers crossed that continues because, again, I feel like after you've been so many times, it definitely does get tiring. Back in 2016, I was going through some health problems. My doctor they found a lump on my right thyroid. Now, thankfully, was benign, not cancerous. So that right there was a huge weight off my shoulders. But I definitely went through hell and back just to finally get to my surgery date. Which, after that point, did unfortunately had to get rescheduled. But thankfully, I was still able to get it done. There hasn't been any changes with this ever since. So I was told that in case my doctor finds anything and it's absolutely necessary, I don't have to go back for checkups. So that is another thing I should probably definitely be thankful for. But yeah, so that year, just to keep kind of a long story short, I was allergic to a insulin that my doctor had recommended me try for my blood sugars. I was in the hospital 4 times in 2 weeks. that they were gonna do whatever it took to, get me better, and I'm quite thankful that, honestly, they did, even though they didn't really listen to us. We were able to figure out the issue right there. I don't know why they couldn't, but it's whatever. Point of the matter is, I'm not on that anymore, obviously, and I pray to God never to go through anything like that ever again. And then last but not least, obviously, you guys, I've been on here, YouTube, for almost 2 years now, which is quite crazy. When I had the thought of, going on this ASMR journey, last year, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of scary. I didn't know how people were going to react. I didn't know how good I was gonna be. I know there were already plenty of ASMR artists out there doing this for quite a long time, before I started. But I am thankful for anyone who even hits that subscribe button, or even the follow button over on TikTok, which we are still getting fairly close to 600 followers. That's kind of crazy. I am kind of somewhat still getting close to 300 on here, which again is quite crazy. The most followers or whatever that I've had on anything, now, granted, obviously I haven't grown as quickly as other artists out there, for some reason, I didn't really expect to, but we're getting there, we'll see what happens by the time 2024 ends, and then obviously going into 2025, I hope to, of course, continue growing, making content that you guys love. I am definitely thankful for all of the suggestions. If you ever have one, definitely don't hesitate to leave that down in the comments. But yeah, I try to keep everything updated, but that's mostly my TikTok. I feel kind of bad sometimes when I don't, but I am trying my best, especially with all of the background noise going on for when I want to film. When you're someone who unfortunately doesn't have their own place at the moment, I try to work with what I got and still get content out for you guys, especially on here. But yeah, if you guys ever have any video suggestions for TikTok here, definitely, again, leave that down in the comments. But yeah, like I said, I definitely can't thank you guys enough, of course. But yeah, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, follow button over on TikTok if you got one, definitely go do so, of course. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Smash the subscribe button. I think you guys know the drill by now. All of the social media links are always linked down below to follow me everywhere else. And as always, stay safe out there, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.